All right. Well, hello,
Hello.
everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Schrader. I'm fortunate to serve as a Global Goals Ambassador for the United Nations Association of the United States for SDG 11 alongside Jennifer Borrero, who is here with us.
Thank you so much, Sean. Yes, thank you for tuning in. We are excited for this session. We have some great presentations for you today, and we are excited to be able to share that with you.
Yes, and today we're really excited to be talking about how you can be practicing sustainability during the holiday season. It's a busy time, but I think there are a lot of great simple steps you can be taking, which really are embodied, I think, by SDG 11, which we're going to get into. So I'm excited with us. We have some very, very great speakers. Paige Copenhaver, who serves as a land use planner with the County of San Diego, alongside Anne. Berchtold, who serves as the Director of Communications for MIG. And it was really kind of a cool story. A few weeks ago, I saw a really, really cool report on the CBS 8 News, another news group on the other side of the country from Florida, but really talking about 12 sustainable actions for a zero waste holiday, which they're going to be talking about alongside some of the work to practice sustainability. So I'll turn it over to you all.
Great. Thank you so much, Sean and Jennifer. Love the opportunity to kind of share what we're doing with Project Clean Water and then specifically this campaign. So I'll jump in and share a presentation. It looks like maybe you have to give me access, Sean. And
Very
yeah,
well.
this is a visual campaign. So I think a visual presentation will help share it a little bit better. Let me jump into the slideshow. So we'll just begin quickly on talking about who Project Clean Water is, why we exist, and what basically we kind of set out to do. So Project Clean Water is an overarching kind of organization in San Diego made up of 21 San Diego regional co-permittees, including the County of San Diego, the City of San Diego, the Port of San Diego, the Regional Airport Authority, and 18 incorporated cities within the county. So it's a coalition. And in addition to these groups, we've also really built a very strong coalition of environmental groups. We have probably about 25 partners. And collectively, we have kind of joined to share messaging with this goal that if we kind of come together around specific messaging, we can reach a broader audience. So what it is, Project Clean Water kind of came to be after a region-wide survey, which suggested that the majority of the people in the community didn't understand that stormwater was untreated before it goes into our rivers, creeks, and waterways. So a 5-year countywide public education and initiative was put forth. MIG was hired by Project Clean Water to basically build the behavior change campaign. We spent about a year in planning and developing various campaigns. And so it's been an ongoing partnership for, as I mentioned, 5 years now. We start with a behavior change approach, understanding motivations and behaviors around why people don't do certain things. We're talking specifically about holidays. Why don't they use recycled materials? Why don't they recycle their Christmas tree? Things like that, so that when we approach them, we're approaching them in a way that appeals to them through a couple different types of approaches. There's social norms, and there's education. There's this belief of doing something good for your community. There's a lot of different approaches of why people do things. So we study that before we develop any campaign. But our basic kind of the underlying thing for all of our campaigns is that we really believe if we give people small, actionable steps, they can implement those into their lives rather than kind of overwhelm them with one, fear or too much responsibility where they just don't even feel like that they can take action. So every campaign we have is really about that approach. So some of the things that we've tackled under Project Clean Water are reduce stormwater runoff through various tactics. We have a Save Every Drop campaign where we encourage people to use rain barrels and also to check irrigation systems. We also built a number of campaigns around engaging people in the proper disposal of bulky items so they don't dump mattresses and large bulky items, proper disposal of trash and dog waste, and then the capture and reuse of stormwater. So those have been kind of our main campaigns. But this year, we really wanted to focus on this idea of refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle, specific to the holidays. So we built a holiday campaign, which we are calling the 12 Days of Stormwater Pollution. It's a zero waste holiday focus. That is our objective, is to encourage individuals to adopt sustainable practices during the holiday season, reducing waste and promoting clean water. So with that, I'm going to lob it over to Paige, and I'll kind of cycle through our 12 days, and Paige can give a little bit more context and why it's important and the implications it has to stormwater.
Of course. Thanks, Anne. If you go back a couple slides, as Anne was mentioning, we really focus on refuse, reduce, reuse, and recycle. And I'm sure everyone has heard the famous reduce, reuse, recycle, but for all of our campaigns, we really like to focus on the refuse aspect of it all. So if you don't need to pick up a single-use plastic item or just a single-use item in general, we always try to encourage people to just refuse it in general. And one of the best ways to do that is to make sustainable swaps with reusable items. And so we will get into that in just a minute. So you can go to the next slide. And so, yeah, I'll just be covering all of the 12 days of stormwater pollution prevention. So let's start with day one. We have Slay the Plastic Bag. So prevent plastic waste from entering storm drains, refuse single-use bags while holiday shopping, and opt for reusable bags. And so this is a super simple solution. This is not only something that we encourage people to do throughout the holidays, but throughout the entire year. But especially around the holiday season, people are grocery shopping a lot, getting food to cook meals for their family and friends, buying a lot of holiday gifts and things like that. As often as you can remember, we always want to encourage everyone to bring their reusable bags to the store so that you are refusing the plastic bag in general. And again, tying this all back to stormwater pollution prevention, storm drains are directly connected to our rivers, creeks, streams, and here in San Diego to the ocean. And so refusing and reducing waste in general is going to reduce the amount of waste that even has the potential of going down a storm drain. So that's what our whole focus is here. So refuse the plastic bag. It's not going to end up in a storm drain because it won't even exist out in the environment in general. Next slide, please. So day two is wrap sustainably. So reuse gift bags and tissue paper and opt for biodegradable or recycled wrapping to reduce waste. So if you do end up going to the grocery store or any other store and you do happen to forget your reusable bags, the best option, if the option is available to you, is to opt for a paper bag at the store. And what you can do is take that paper bag and use it as gift wrap. So there are various tutorials on how you can do that online, but basically just kind of get creative with if you do have to get a paper bag or any kind of wrapping from a store or anything that you're doing with holiday shopping, you can get creative with it and reuse certain things. If you have to order packages online, reuse the box to add items in when you're wrapping your gifts for your family and friends. Next slide, please. So day three is deck the halls with natural decor. Minimize waste sent to landfills by reusing holiday decorations or creating new ones using natural materials. And so we wanted to shout out this natural material creation of holiday decorations. You can see this little orange slice here. You can really just take an orange that's been sitting on your counter if you have been neglecting to eat it, slice it up really thin and put it in the oven, and it makes these gorgeous little decorations. And when it reaches the end of its life, you can compost it. So you really don't have to go out and buy all of these big fancy holiday decorations. And of course, if you do choose to do that, we encourage people to get them secondhand from thrift stores, or like I personally get all of my Christmas decorations on eBay. There's all sorts of different ways that you can reduce waste by not purchasing new items. And again, not purchasing new items, refusing to buy new things is going to help reduce waste, especially single-use plastic waste. Next slide. Day 4 is recycle holiday cheer. And this kind of goes back to the whole notion of reusing items that you already have. So turn old cards into gift tags or ornaments to reduce paper waste. So if people send you holiday cards and you're done reading them and you're done displaying them in your home, turn them into new holiday cards or make a holiday collage. Again, just get creative with ways that you can reuse certain items that you want to use as decorations or another card that you want to send to people. Day 5 is give the gift of donation. So donate gently used items to local charitable organizations. And as Anne was mentioning earlier, this is a topic that we really like to hit on all year round, because in San Diego in particular, and probably other places all over the country, we have an issue with people, rather than taking used items to be donated, they'll kind of leave them out on the curb expecting that a trash truck will come and pick them up. And that doesn't always happen. And so what happens when items are left out on the curb like that is, if there are any pollutants on the items, any kind of debris or dirt or anything like that, the next time we're going to have a rain event, it's going to wash away all of those pollutants down a storm drain, end up in our waterways, and harm our aquatic life and our water quality. So we always encourage people, whenever they can, to donate items that are still usable, something that people can still give a second life to. So donate items to local charitable organizations so they can be reused by other people, and don't leave them out on the curb. And that's especially important this holiday season because, you know, certain items can be donated to people who might not be able to afford to get gifts for themselves or their friends and their family for the holidays. And day 6, it is 'tis the season to give back together. So participate in local coastal and river cleanups to help keep our waters beautiful. And this is a pretty easy example to understand how this is going to make an impact in your environment. So there are tons of local beach cleanups and river cleanups all throughout San Diego and all throughout the country, where even if it's not nearby a river, there are a lot of volunteer groups you can get involved with to just pick up trash in your communities in general. Even if you're just going out for a walk and you see a piece of trash on the floor, on the ground, we always encourage people to carry a little bag with them and pick up trash as they go out on a walk. Again, every little bit helps to prevent pollution from ending up in our waterways and harming our aquatic life. Day 7 is wash your car sustainably this holiday season. This is another one of those tips that we encourage year round. But around the holidays, if you are choosing to wash your car, opt to wash it at an eco-friendly car wash facility that saves water and reduces harmful runoff. So instead of washing your car in your driveway or on the street, which if you do that, all of the runoff is going to leave your car, carry all of the harmful pollutants that you just washed off and the soap, and it's going to wash down a storm drain. So instead of doing that, we encourage people to take their cars to a car wash facility because they will actually capture all of that wastewater and recycle it, or not dump it down a storm drain. Next one. So day 8 is reuse holiday containers. And this is a simple one. If you receive a gift or anything that you purchase that you're not going to use anymore that is container shaped, you can cut holes into the bottom of it and you can use it as a planter. So going all the way back to what I keep reiterating on, just getting creative with using things that you already have, instead of trying to purchase new items. So that's a really good example of reusing as well. And day 9 is shine with energy efficiency. So reduce your energy consumption and minimize pollution by replacing your holiday lights with LEDs. And this one kind of speaks for itself. We definitely encourage the use of LED lights, which are extremely more energy efficient than the incandescent bulbs for holiday lights. But I also want to just say that we're not encouraging people to go out and throw away their old lights if they're still in good working condition. If they're still good to go, use them until the end of their life and then replace it with LEDs so that we're reducing waste in general. And day 10 is go digital this holiday. So if you don't want to send out holiday cards and create more paper waste, then you can ditch the paper and switch to digital invitations, cards, and newsletters. And day 11 is winterize your stormwater friendly yard. So if you are fortunate to have your own property and you have a rain barrel or a cistern or native plant gardens or rain gardens in your yard, then we encourage everyone to respect or inspect and maintain your rain barrels, yard drainage, and native vegetation to prevent stormwater pollution. So if your rain barrel is overflowing, or if your rain garden is no longer draining properly, then during a rain event, runoff is going to leave your property. And we really want to encourage everyone to ensure that there's very minimal amount of runoff leaving your property, because that's going to reduce stormwater pollution. And finally, day 12, give your tree a second life. So if you do celebrate Christmas or you have any other kind of holiday plants in your home for the month of December, we encourage everyone to support stormwater management and wildlife habitats by recycling your holiday tree to create mulch or compost or to help control erosion. And so, again, what we don't want to see is Christmas trees just lining the streets when people are done with them. We encourage everyone to responsibly dispose of it, whether it's composting it or taking it to a service where they're going to chop it up and create mulch for you. Research what is available in your local community, but there are tons and tons of options all across the country for how to responsibly get rid of your tree when you're done with it. And those are all of our tips that we have now. So that is our 12 Days of Stormwater Pollution Prevention campaign. Thank
And
you.
I think you're on mute.
I was just going to add that not only do all of these items protect our waterways from pollution, but they're all save you money. Every single one of those has, will save money that people spend every year, and people don't need more things. It's actually a lovely gift to give somebody something that is handmade. So, that's the added benefit.
Well, I just got to say thank you. This is really, really cool. And as you all mentioned at the top, it's about small steps people can be taking. And I was curious, the interview that was on the news a few weeks ago was really cool. I think there's a real piece to this when, you can make it fun and enjoyable and incentivize it almost. Do you have stories of success so far of different people in the community that are willing to consider this or considering taking any of these approaches for the 12 days?
I'll jump in and then Paige, you can jump in. I think that we hear a lot from parents with younger kids, and they do these types of things together. It's a wonderful thing to kind of roll out this list, talk about it with your children every day, do the actions. There's activities and fun things, and then you're imparting a really nice message. We've had great feedback from the Earth 8. Earth 8 Channel 8 has been a really great partner for Project Clean Water. They're really dedicated to environmental issues that face San Diego specifically. And so that we've done quite a lot with them. And Carlene, who's the personality, is specifically kind of the lead. So we have received great response from that segment. And we are just, I think we're in day 3. We just started our social posting for the month of December. So there'll be 1 post a day every day for 12 days. And so we, continue to get good engagement on that via social media. Paige, anything to add on that?
Not really anything specifically about the holiday campaign, but going back to the Slay the Plastic Bag, I think it's kind of easy for people who already consider themselves environmentalists and already are kind of well educated about a lot of the environmental impacts of single-use plastic to kind of just assume that everyone already uses a lot of these reusable items, but that's not really the case. Even here in California, I've noticed that whenever we do outreach events where Project Clean Water will give out reusable items such as grocery tote bags and reusable coffee cups, we have a few other sustainable swaps, like we give out metal straws and like metal silverware. And people are always just very, very grateful because they always end up saying something like, "Oh, I've been wanting to make the swap, but I just didn't want to like go out and buy something. I'm going to use this. Like, thank you." So just wanted to throw that out there that uh, I think a lot of people are aware that these issues are happening, but they don't always have the incentive to get started and making those sustainable swaps. So I do think that this campaign and Project Clean Water in general has helped a lot locally to spread the word in the community about sustainability.
Yeah, that's so great to hear about the stories of success that you're already seeing. I, for one, as someone who was walking through the campaign for the first time, I really enjoyed how it's not about not celebrating the holiday. If anything, I think each of those steps really leans into the celebration of the holiday, especially when we're talking about maybe even creating your own decorations for the tree. I think it involves a lot of interaction and activity and engagement. It can make it very fun. But I am curious for folks that maybe don't consider themselves environmentalists, or it's their very first time seeing this campaign, these 12 days, they're not really sure, what it means or what to do, and they don't consider themselves environmentalists necessarily. What would you say is maybe the one takeaway that you hope those individuals have from this campaign?
I think it's just that there are small actions that you can take every day. And each one of these is one a day. And this is one small campaign, but our ongoing campaign is actually a 52 Ways to Love Your Water. And we started that about 5 years ago. And that is literally one action a week over 52 weeks. And we have, I want to say, close to 3,000 people now who have signed our pledge and who have opted in to get that email newsletter every week. Plus, it's on our social media. So I think there is a willing and ready audience who can manage, one small action a week. And so by, starting to do that, then hopefully, it begins to be a habit in your everyday life and you start to change your behavior. Anything, Paige, you want to add to that?
Totally agree with that. I mean, as Anne said, the main thing that we want to get across with this campaign and all of our campaigns is that small actions can collectively make a big difference for just helping the environment in general, but specifically reducing stormwater pollution. And the main point behind all of our campaigns that I always go back to is that stormwater is untreated when it enters our waterways. And not a lot of people know that. And so just the mere fact of telling people that gets them to start, everything kind of clicks for them. Like, oh, well, that means it's really bad if I'm over irrigating my lawn, because then all of the gardening chemicals are flowing down the drain. Or, oh my gosh, I should not just like use my hose to pour stuff down the storm drain. I should pick up trash when I'm outside. So we just really want to hit home that stormwater is not treated, and everyone cares about that. Everyone, no matter across the board of all different kinds of people, which we reach people from all walks of life through our campaigns and our events that we do, and everyone cares about this. So I think it's a really powerful message to just remind people that they can make a difference, and yeah, that stormwater is not treated, and that's a really big deal, and we can all do small things to help reduce pollution.
I just have one other thing on that comes to mind is that everything that we put out, the 52 ways, these 12, they're all free. I mean, nothing costs money. It doesn't, even a rain barrel, you can build that yourself. You can do that with your kids. So it's, trying to get rid of the barriers that people might have to adopting these types of behaviors. So money, in fact, everything that we've showed you is going to save you money. Time, that is often a lot of what we hear as far as barriers. I don't have time to recycle. I don't have time to go out and, I don't know, put my just bulky items in a licensed, dump yard. But you do. I mean, there are so many means to help you do that. We have a report pollution on our website. If anybody has something that they need assistance with, we have a great catch-all website in San Diego called Waste Free San Diego that you could type in what you have to throw away, and it gives you, lists of where you can take those types of things. So that is one thing that we are really conscious of, is trying to make these things free, accessible to all, and very easy to implement.
Absolutely. No, I really love that because I think it allows people to see that to make a positive impact, you don't have to change your life overnight, do a complete 180. You can start with small actions, and those small actions really do add up, and they are important. And to your point, I don't remember the last time I saw a campaign, especially a holiday campaign, that was actually encouraging me to not spend money. That wasn't trying me to get me to go shop and buy something new. So I think this is something that is refreshing, that is really showing how you can celebrate all of these traditions and holidays and still save money, save time, and who doesn't love that?
Mhm.
So thank you so much, Anne and Paige. Sean, I want to check in with you. Any final words for our guests today or anyone that could be watching?
No, just thank you very much and hope everyone watching might consider taking at least a few actions and implement some of these things during the holiday.
Great. And if anybody is interested, please go to projectcleanwater.org. We have a blog post with all of these posts and then a little bit of a narrative behind it, plus so many other resources for people that are really interested in these types of things, and just encourage everybody to share them with their families.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Anne and Paige. That was so helpful and so informational. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everybody. Bye-bye.
Holidays, thank you.